Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video, and on today's video it's going to be another fun one. We are going to be doing the museum. Now the thing with my museum is you can't really move it once you place it down. You have to upgrade it first, and also there's like two houses kind of near it I want to move out of the way just so we have more room to build. And finally, moving them out of the way, we can kind of clean up around just this general area just so it's like not in the shot or anything. But yeah, the museum is kind of a weird one. Like I said before, if you don't upgrade it, it kind of stays in this really cool tent, and I've always wanted to like kind of leave it in like this before, but I never really have. So I wanted to see what it would look like, and unfortunately my placement, I have to kind of build around it. So that's what I'm going to do. I want to extend out our kind of land bridge to wrap around to the other side of our mountain we made in the first one. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that all the way around. And here's a quick little kind of montage of me doing just that. And now that the terraforming is done, we can go ahead and put down our actual bridge path. Man, I really do love this path. It looks so realistic. Kudos to whoever made this. As always, it's down in the description below if you all want to use that. And also too, I actually think I recall doing the museum tent before. It was in Quad Coast. It feels like forever since we made those. That was such a really fun series to do. I just kind of forgot about that. And now that we're done putting down our pathing for the time being, we go ahead and talk to Tom Nook, and we're going to get a incline. So I want to do one that is like backwards. I just thought it would be more interesting, and I went with the log staircase. That's probably going to be the only type that we use on this island. I might use like the natural looking one, but we'll see. And I just place it right here, and hopefully it will look good. Kind of winging that like I typically do. I think it'll be just fine. I'm sure we can make it look good enough. And then now, following up on that next day, we went ahead and did some more terraforming and stuff just around this mountain. I'm not going to do much over here. I just want to connect it. So next time I come to it, I kind of know where I left off, because your boy forgets things. And this will be one of the things I do forget if I don't. And I just want it to look a little bit more completed. And then in the inside, I want to put some sort of waterscape of some sort. I don't really know quite yet how I'm going to do that, just because it's a weird, like, smaller area. But I want to add as much little water features as I can, just to make it have that, you know, more jungle feel, I guess. I think it looks overall like more organic and just nice. And I think that, I don't know, I think that'll be a nice little thing to add up into that, like, little weird shaped area we built. And I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone that has been supporting the new series. It's been kind of overwhelming how many people are excited. I am too. I've already said this in a previous video, but I am kind of recording these in advance just so everyone knows. I have read all the comments, and I do know what villagers and who to get. You guys have left a lot of good recommendations. I've already made like a tier list, so it will be in like a video previously to this one probably, or ahead of this one actually. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I have a lot of cool villagers I want to get, and I just wanted to tell you guys just ahead of time so you know. I probably already made a statement about this, but just in case you missed that one video, at least now you know. And over here I did just added like to this waterfall to make it kind of flow in to this little canal that we have going on right here. I feel like that was a nice kind of transition, so we're just not having a random kind of like body of water out of nowhere. And it doesn't have to be anything spectacular or anything. I really want to work on my water terraforming skills, and the only way to do it is just to do it. And I honestly think this is looking really good, and I'll be able to put some more like decorations and stuff down here. But I think for the time being, this looks pretty good. And we can actually now start working on the museum portion, which I'm most excited about, because I can kind of give you my idea on what I'm going for here. First thing we're gonna do is put down just some pathing. This grass dirt path is absolutely perfect, and it looks really good. But what I'm going for here is kind of like an explorer that has stumbled upon fossils or like ruined items that is, I don't know, just researching them. I guess it could be my character being like an explorer. I thought that would be a really cool and fun take. We added a dinosaur in one of our other videos, so I think it would be really cool to have like fossils everywhere and like some ruined items, stuff like that, just to kind of add to that aesthetic that we're going for right now. And I think it'll be really cool. And over here on this side, I was kind of debating on if I wanted to add it's like a gazebo or something, and I absolutely love how this looks. It looks like it's been weathered and been here for like ages with the flowers and stuff on top of it and like weeds growing out of it. Such an amazing item. I didn't really think to use this, but I can actually use this later on for like fake buildings or just something like that, and that's going to be a really fun thing to do later on. But I just kind of looked through my catalog on my main account to see what I have, and I don't know, a lot of times it works out. So I'm kind of glad that I did that, because I wanted something to fill in the area a lot more, and it looks so cool when you're walking around like on the land bridge. So I was really happy I found that item. And over here in the front, I was really eager to start decorating in front of it. So I got a lot of like the red items and stuff that I've had in my storage for like ever on my main account that I don't ever use. And I want to use a lot of those items just around to kind of give it that aesthetic. And in the bottom area here, in this like little channel, I guess you can call it, I wanted to go ahead and add some decorations around, because honestly, I was going to forget about it if I don't. And it needs to be a part of the aesthetic for this build specifically. So I just hang a lot of vines everywhere, covering up the wall as much as I can. But luckily the wall kind of adds to like the jungle feeling that we're going for. And typical me, I'm adding weeds and bushes and flowers. These green mums are a lifesaver, because I don't typically like to use a lot of different color flowers. I like using kind of the same color or like two. So this is perfect, and it looks good enough to look overgrown, especially when I time travel a few more days. Everything will fill in just nicely and look really good. And then I wanted to do the same thing basically for over here, but I wanted to add this noodle slide because it looks like it's going into the body of water that we made. It looks, I don't know, just a nice little touch, and it's cool. And with the vines, it'll be really nice, so when people come over, you can come down here and take a peek at everything that I've made, just in case you want to do it yourself, or if you're nosy like me and just want to see everything. I just feel like that's a cool little feature to have. And now that we're done with that area, we can head back down to the museum and actually start placing down a lot of fun and cool items. Trust me, I have way too many things. If you looked in my pocket there, I have too many items. I didn't know what to do or grab. My mind was just kind of exploding with creativity. I didn't know what all I wanted to place down and where at. But I wanted to add, right beside the museum, another gazebo, because I feel like it'll make it look like they're setting up an even bigger camp over here and fossil excavating and stuff. I just feel like it'll look really cool. So I wanted to do just that. Went ahead and placed down my gazebo, and it looks really good. I do feel like this head thing is a little too big, and I wouldn't be able to put down enough items. So I kind of just placed it right in front of it, and it looks pretty cool. It kind of gives me like Indiana Jones vibe or something. I don't know. And these ruined rocks, I'm kind of using these just as like little chairs or something like the guy has found, and I don't know, wanted to use them as furniture, I guess. I even put down like a little lunchbox, a little bamboo one. Those are really cute. Definitely very nostalgic. I used those at the beginning of like my very first island. And then also a camera. He is a researcher, so taking photos of things, I thought that would be just, I don't know, cool little touch. And then over here, I'm going to start adding these little fossils you get, and they look absolutely amazing. I really like how these look. I don't feel like they get used that often, so it was really cool to be able to use these. The ammonite is probably my favorite. I just love how that looks. And then I wanted to use like a rope fencing. It's a little bit different, but it looks like man-made. Bubbles is always in my way and somehow, some way, always on my islands. But yeah, well, she likes the camera at least. That's really funny. And over here on the back, you won't be able to see this part, so I'm just going to fill it in with a bunch of random greeneries like bushes and weeds and stuff, just to fill it in as much as I can. And now that we finished up that area, over just like kind of right beside like the land bridge, we can finally start placing down more decorations around the palm tree and around like the museum itself, just to help kind of fill it in some more, because I still need to create like a backdrop for it. So I added this information stone. I just thought it looked cool, and this humongous like Hercules beetle. I don't know why, but I really wanted to add some like insects and stuff around here. It is a jungle, so it definitely has a lot of those, so I wanted to kind of be realistic and add that. I just love the color of the beetle, and it just looked really cool and different, and yeah, so I wanted to throw that in there. And over here, again, I just want to fill in this staircase area as much as I can. Honestly, it's looking really good already, and I haven't used a majority of the items yet. Again, using some more insects. I use this like this masked beetle thing. I remember catching a lot of these at the very beginning. I know it's going to sound really greasy, but I remember them being like 1,000 bells or something each. So every time I would come across one, I would always catch it. And I would have so many bugs like in the middle of the night from playing that my game would be laggy. It sounds crazy, but I really did do that. That was a really fun night, especially I remember playing with my friends. Really do miss kind of playing at the very beginning. It was just super fun. But anyways, I added like this rune arch right behind the museum. Now I'm going to do this to give the museum more height and make it look like this is just very man-made like tent pop up out of nowhere. And I strategically placed down trees right in the middle of the archways, so it looks like it's more filled in and kind of overgrown. And I wanted to add the 3 variant of trees I'm using, and honestly I think that looks perfect. It doesn't need to be like too much, but it needs to look kind of overgrown, and I think it's doing just that. And then I added a rover's briefcase just because, I don't know, it looks like a traveler came, and I feel like that would be a nice little touch. And I wanted to add a little pathway leading up to the body of water right here. I already have an idea based around this, so I'm really excited for it. But right now I'm just going to make a path going upward. And of course, every time I am trying to build, they're always having a conversation. Bubbles and Melba. Really, if you guys have been following me for a while now, you'll know Bubbles is always on my island somehow. I do not know why or how, but she is like programmed into my game to be there, and trust me, she always is. Anyways, we are now putting vines along the other land bridge that we made, and we can finally finish up the pathing leading up towards the water here. And now I just need to fill in the rest of this area with more greenery and trees and stuff. That I don't know, I feel like it will create like it's like more narrow and stuff that it is, so I definitely want to do that, and it's really doing that. The trees are kind of brushing over onto the pathway, and everything is just looking a lot more overgrown now, which is really, really good. That's the aesthetic we're going for. And then lastly, another tree right here, and I think the walkway is looking really, really good. And I was going to see if I could fit a tree here, and the bamboo tree fits perfectly. Kind of creates that little archway that we're going for, and it is really coming together. I feel like we are getting that aesthetic that we're going for. I really wanted to add an explorer hat, just to give off the impression this is kind of like an excavation site or like an explorer's over here. But I feel like this spot right here was a little too congested, so I was kind of playing around to see if I can organize it just a little bit better, just because I want to be sure everyone can like walk through here. And I was kind of getting to that issue with the briefcase and the explorer hat, so I just placed on the rover's briefcase where it was originally, and then I just decided to pick up one of these like rope fences and place down the explorer hat there. I think that looks really good, and I love that you can see the little like strap on the bill of the explorer hat. It looks really, I don't know, just realistic. And over here, I just need to fill in the rest of this area with some more greenery, and everything is honestly starting to look done. now we just need to do a few little more like final details just to cover in some of these blank spaces. So I got some of these bamboo partitions like I have been using just to help fill in with the land bridges and to cover up some more empty space. And I wanted to use some more ruined stuff, so I did just that. I added one of these broken ones right here. I love the broken ones. They just look really cool, and being not perfect, it makes the item look so much better, especially like when it comes to like a certain aesthetic, and it just looks really, really nice. And I wanted to add more fossils, so I'm doing just that right now. I wanted to add the ember fossil. I feel like this one looks so cool. This is honestly probably my first or second favorite one. I really like the ammonite one or whatever it is. I just feel like they both look cool. The ember fossil reminds me of I think it's the very first like Jurassic Park. It just looks really cool, and I wanted to make sure I added that, and there it is. It looks really cool, and I believe that is all we have today. We can go ahead and finish up this one area, and then we can do our final walkthrough. And that wraps up today's video on our overgrown museum. I really hope you guys did enjoy today's video. This was a blast, and I was really glad I was able to do this, and the placement was just perfect. We were able to manage to work around it and make something really cool, I think. If you guys did enjoy today's video and want to see more Animal Crossing content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, thank you as always, and until next time.